Good morning, students. We are on chapter 4, My Childhood. First, I will tell you something about the story. My Childhood is adapted from David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. It is an extract narrated by David Copperfield, the main hero, in a flashback manner about his childhood. He literally takes the reader on a tour of his childhood home and the things, animals, and people that populated it. They are his mother, his nurse Peggotty, and the farm animals. His nurse seems to have a larger than life influence on his childhood, since his memories of her seem to overshadow everything else in this extract. Copperfield describes his house, the animals around the house, his church going experiences, his house seen from the outside, and one particular incident where he was reading to Peggotty about crocodiles and he nearly nodded off. The extract ends when his mother comes in with a man they had met earlier. Now let's move to our text. Chapter 4, My Childhood. I was a child of close observation and have a strong memory of my childhood. As I lost back into my infancy, the first people to make an impression on me are my mother and my nurse Peggotty. What else do I remember? Let me see. So as you know, the story follows the life of David Copperfield from the childhood to maturity. David spends his early years in happiness with his loving mother and kind housekeeper Peggotty. Here, author describes himself as a child of close observation, and he has a strong memory of his childhood. When David looked back into his infancy, the first people who leaves an impression on him are his mother and his caretaker Peggotty. He is trying to remember something more. Let's see in our next paragraph. There comes out of the cloud our house, not new to me, but quite familiar in its earliest remembrance. On the ground floor is Peggotty's kitchen, opening into a backyard, with a pigeon house on a pole in the center without pigeons in it, a great dog kennel in a corner without any dog, and a quantity of fowls that looked terribly tall to me, walking about in a menacing and ferocious manner. Menacing means threatening. Now here, then he remember his house which is quite familiar. He remembers that there is Peggotty's kitchen on the ground floor, which opens into a backyard, which has pigeon house on a pole in the center, but there are no pigeons in it. There is a dog kennel in a corner, but without any dog, and many kinds of birds walk in a threatening and ferocious manner. There is one cock who gets upon a post to crow and seems to take particular notice of me as I look at him through the kitchen window, who makes me shiver. He is so furious. Of the geese outside the side gate who come waddling after me with their long necks stretched out when I go that way. I dream at night as a man environed by wild beasts might dream of lions. So here, author also remembers of a cock who is about to crow, and he used to look through the kitchen window. That makes him shiver. Whom shiver? David, the author, due to his ferocious look. It seems that cock take particular notice of him. He remembers the geese outside the side gate who follows him with their long necks whenever he goes from that way. He was so afraid of the cock and the geese that he often dreamed at night that a man was surrounded by wild animals like lions. Here is a long passage leading from Peggotty's kitchen to the front door. A dark storeroom opens out of it, and that is a place to be run past at night. For I don't know what may be among those tubs and jars and old tea chest. When there is nobody in there with a dimly burning light, letting a mouldy air comes out of the door, in which there is a smell of soap, pickles, pepper, candles, and coffee, all at one whiff. Then there are the two parlours. The parlour in which we sit in the evening, my mother and I, and Peggotty. For Peggotty is quite our companion when her work is done and we are alone. And the best parlour where we sit on a Sunday, grandly but not so comfortably. Now here, mouldy means damp, means moist, and parlours means sitting rooms in a private house. Then whiff means to smell with nose, to take a deep short deep breath. And then tea chest is a large wooden box in which tea is packed when it is exported. People also use tea chest for putting the house things in when they move from one place to another. Now, I will explain you this paragraph that then the author remembers that there is a long passage which leads from Peggotty's kitchen to the front door. There was a dark storeroom, and he doesn't know exactly that what was in those jars and old tea chest. It has a dim light, and from that storeroom a damp smell comes out of it. That's the smell of soap, pickles, peppers, candles, and coffee comes out altogether at a time. Then there are two sitting rooms. In one of the parlours, David, his mother, and caretaker Peggotty used to sit in the evening. Peggotty is their close friend. Whenever her work is over, they used to sit together in that parlour. And in another room, they sit on Sunday, grandly but not comfortably. Maybe that the Sundays is a special day for the arrival of the guest. Here is our pew in the church. What a high backed pew with a window near it, out of which our house can be seen, and is seen many times during the morning service by Peggotty, who likes to make herself as sure as she can that it's not being robbed or is not in flames. But though Peggotty's eyes wanders, she is much offended if mine does, and frowns to me as I stand upon the seat that I am to look at the clergyman. I look at my mother, but she pretends not to see me. I look at a boy in the aisle, and he makes faces at me. I look at the sunlight coming in at the open door through the porch, and there I see a stray sheep half making up his mind to come into the church. I feel that if I looked at him any longer, I might be tempted to say something out loud, and what would become of me then? Here, author recalls of a long wooden bench which has a back support in the church. It is a very high bench. This bench is very close to the window through which their house can be seen easily. Peggotty used to see their house many times during the morning prayer to make sure that it's not being robbed or is not in flame. That. Though Peggotty's eyes wanders during morning prayer, but she gets angry if David look here and there. She look at him with angrily when he stands upon the seat to look at the clergyman. Clergyman means priest. The author also look at his mother, but she ignores him. The author also remembers that when he looks at the boy in the azure, he makes faces at him. When she looks at the sunlight coming in at the open door through the porch, he can see a stray ship which is trying to come into the church. The author was tempted to look at the ship longer and tried to stop himself saying something loud. So in this way you can see some words are there like pew, that means a long wooden bench with a back support found in a church. Then aisle is a passage between rows of seats. Then frown means to look at someone with displeasure. So students, will stop our lesson here. You can check the question answers of our chapter number 3 in our school app. Thank you for listening.